just figured, hey, I'll slide into that DM, you know? Well, my name's Eric Magray, and I'm originally from Levittown, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so, I mean, related to cars and engineering and machining, honestly, I fell in love with cars when I saw Fast and Furious. Like, who didn't, right? So yeah, ever since then, I've always had a passion for cars, and I'd be on all different forums, love the STI. I worked in the first machine shop I ever worked in after high school. And after, I don't know, like a year of being there, I finally saved up enough to buy a 2005 Obsidian Black Pearl STI with the silver BBSs. That was my dream car. Yeah, loved that thing. Yeah, and I've had a handful of other cars, you know, FC, RX-7, 240, S13, you know. And in my machining job is just great because along with, like, I mean, I like cars because just all the mechanical stuff with them, you know, the mechanics, the electronics, all the systems make everything work. It's just super fascinating to me. And then having a driver get behind the wheel and push that thing to the limits and finding weak points and all that kind of stuff. I just love all that stuff, all the technical stuff. And that's kind of what I love about machining too. So yeah, I mean, I worked that first machining job back in Pennsylvania for probably close to 2 years. Yeah, had a great time there. It was more of a prototype slash low production volume shop where we did a lot of semiconductor stuff, worked with like strange materials. You know, we did your typical aluminum, steel, stainless, things like that. But we worked with PTFE, sapphire, tantalum, things like that too. So did like plastic welding and rotomolding along with machining and, you know, your typical TIG welding and stuff. So yeah, I learned a lot there. And after leaving there, I pretty much like was just jumping across the country, different places. So I moved to Salt Lake City. Didn't really do much machining there, and I moved to Los Angeles shortly afterwards because I found really good work doing what I really love to do, machining and designing products in aftermarket, in the aftermarket. So it was basically just like designing and making aftermarket motorcycle parts. That was a blast. I always considered it, like before now, my favorite job ever because like I got to do all the fun stuff and none of the boring stuff, which was like, so I got to do the designing, the programming, setting up the machines, running. It was just like every week, a new motorcycle coming in the door, like, you know, Suzuki, Yamaha, the new Ducatis, like, and I'd get to put it on the lift and design the parts. And then within like the next 2 weeks after that, we'd have them in production. After Los Angeles, I moved to Portland, Oregon, where I started my own shop, Avant Manufacturing. And that was actually how I come to know the Verus guys. I think it was just a couple months after starting the shop that I was just looking all over the place for customers. And I spotted Verus Engineering on Instagram. Just figured, hey, I'll slide into that DM, you know? So I did, and yo, you guys need machining work, and I guess they threw at me like one of the more difficult parts, just to see like, hey, if you can do this, then maybe you can do some other stuff for us too. And so I've just basically been making Verus parts ever since, and kind of became friends with the Verus guys in the whole process. So yeah, was doing work for them for about 4 years before this happened. Yeah, obviously I'm not in Portland, Oregon anymore. So actually, what got me into machining was the high school that I went to was a technical high school, and I studied welding and fabrication there. So actually, like after high school, I was a welding instructor at the school for like adult education. So I graduated and then became like the TIG welding instructor at night there. And then it was, I guess, I can't remember how long after, it was only a few months after that, I guess, that I found work in a machine shop. And it was basically, I don't even know like why I looked into machining. I just know that like I was looking for work at the time, and I had just finished, I had a small business in high school making scooter parts. So I was familiar with machining. I had already done a decent amount of like designing work. And I was familiar enough with machining to design parts for it. And I would like outsource the machining that I needed done while I was in high school, because I didn't have equipment or anything to do it myself. I got hired into a machine shop, and like I walked in there and I got the job. Like I knew how to design stuff and I could learn how to program stuff. So I'm pretty good with computers. So yeah, they hired me, and I kind of just, within my first couple of weeks there, I just kind of like fell in love with machining. It's just beautiful. Everything is calculated, you know? It's kind of like engineering in a way, where everything is calculable. So there's almost nothing that you can't anticipate or simulate, and it's hard for me to explain it, but it's just really, really cool, I think. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing what I can bring to the table with Verus. Like I said, I'm hoping that I can be a good part of this business and really help out in any way that I can. So yeah, I mean, in summary, that's a bit about me. I'm really looking forward to connecting a bit more with the community too. You'll start seeing some more of my stuff on the stories and in the posts with the machining, and I'll gauge it to see how much interest there actually is on the machining side of stuff, but you'll start seeing more stuff here. But yeah, like I said, all in all, I'm just excited to be here. It's a great time. Working with these guys it's interesting. Let's just say that. We have a good time here for sure, and it's nice to get behind the scenes and see all the work that goes into making these products and making cars go fast. That's what we're here for, right? So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.